Hello and welcome to the season finale of Meet in the Middle podcast. And you joined today. I know we made it, and I'm joined today with the belle of Belfast City, Rachel,
Woo!
and
here we go,
the dickhead from Dublin, James.
Yeah.
How we all doing?
You robbed my intro from last week.
What?
I said the belle of Belfast. Come up with your own fucking material, will you?
Oh,
I struggled with words this week, so
Do you know who you look like with those glasses on, Jake?
go on.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
Thanks.
What's up, brother?
I would say who you look like, but I don't want to get cancelled.
Go for it.
oh.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, Jeffrey
I've done that
Dahmer.
before.
Yeah.
Insults.
Yeah, horror version.
Insults is classy.
You shut up, you're in your pajamas.
What the fuck?
Oh,
It only took 20 episodes to get Rachel her own podcast mic.
Well, I thought it would
Yeah.
surprise you at the end.
Give it up.
hey.
Oh, shit. That was the wrong one.
Happening.
I meant to do this.
Wanker.
She did it. She finally got an episode with a mic.
We don't call you the dickhead from Dublin for no reason, anyway.
Well, you might have guessed that
Well-
we might be getting his words mixed up already.
Sure.
And to celebrate the season finale, we thought we'd have a drink.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Hey. Yeah, that's a new sound effect.
You didn't drink your drink. Every time you cheers,
Oh, shit, I
you're supposed
forgot.
to drink.
Yeah, it's bad luck.
Trying to be professional. You're supposed to not break eye contact either.
It's a bit difficult when we're all on webcam and looking in different angles.
Don't be giving away the illusion, Jake.
So how we all been doing this week?
All good. Excited.
Yep.
Nervous.
Excited for this episode.
And ready for new beginnings.
Well,
I'm really looking forward to this episode.
Yes.
Because we've already put out this week a little sneak peek that we're going to be doing an interview today with the one and only Danny Willis. So he'll be around later on. Can't wait for that.
we stuck to our promise last week. We said we'd got something special lined up, a little special surprise. And what a way
And
to...
we didn't mean Jake.
We thought we'd go out with a bang with a special guest this week.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so 20 episodes. This is,
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Mental.
in the words of Shania Twain, looks like we made it.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Together we made it.
Yeah. And in the words of Take That, never forget where you've come from. Those long 20 weeks.
Like you're such a dad joke. Like you're just Jesus Christ. Where'd you learn that from? Back of
Oh,
a cereal
well,
box?
Yeah. Where I get all my jokes.
we have spoken about some amount of shit in this podcast though over those 20 episodes.
Apologies.
And we
for
can
that.
only apologise, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same
What's
time,
some of the highlights?
but at the same time, we just want to say thank you for sticking by all that crap that we've talked about.
Yeah. If you're still listening after that shitty episode 1, fair play.
You've came a long way. We have came a long way. We all have.
Come on, boy. So what's some of your highlights from season 1, Jake?
Well, there's quite a few. And I think the one that I've got is play the clip.
Who put 50p in the dickhead that thought you needed a passport to get from Belfast to Dublin?
Oh, you bitch. Oh. Wait, she's talking about me, by the way. Just to clarify.
I'm talking about Jake.
He genuinely did. I thought,
No,
sorry, I thought you were talking about me, but it wasn't the passport.
No.
Remember, I said when I was coming up to you, I was packing a bag, and I thought I was going to be able to bring the aftershave because it was over 100 mil, even though I was driving.
No, but that was funny.
Yeah. So Jake was in the same situation then.
Yeah. I like that one because I thought I'd shame myself again from having that misunderstanding, but also try and throw James under the bus again. Just remind everyone that he thought it was him that was being the dickhead that week.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was because only recently before that, I was telling Rachel about not realising I could bring me over 100 ml bottle of aftershave, even though I was driving up to see her. just because I was using my travel bag that I'm used to going on a flight with.
He thought he had
So I
to
was
go
like,
through
shit, I
customs on the way up the border.
No, it was just because I was packing the same bag I packed for a plane.
Well,
that was a nice early one there, Jake. Episode 6.
Yeah.
Have you got any more recent highlights that stuck with you?
I've got to say, last week's, I'm going to say all of our future careers in hospital radio, not just mine. I think we can all pass that interview. I'm getting ready for my hospital radio job. This goes out to Kathy on Ward 5B.
You're back to turn.
I love it.
She's had her genital warts removed, and we've got a track dedicated to you by Sting.
And here's Maggie up on Ward B, who was in a freak Charizard accident.
And here's
Burn,
sweet Billy.
burn, baby, burn.
Here's sweet Billy in the corner. Got a dildo stuck up his heart.
And this song goes out to you. Push It by Salt and Pepper.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, listeners. I think we've just tickled each other now.
Rachel's laugh, though. That's what makes her half the time.
Yeah.
Especially for me, anyway.
Do you think we'll get that job?
I don't know. You might. Well, not with your innuendo songs, anyway.
Well, you never know. It might work. Like I said last week, it was all to get people out of the hospital quick. So if they don't want to hear any more, then you never know what happens.
God love wee Kathy on Ward B anyway.
Yeah. I hope she's recovered.
Poor Kathy. Yeah. I hope she pushed it. What about you, Rachel? You got any highlights?
Yeah, your diabetes clip.
Let's give it another listen.
It wasn't just drinking. We did an escape room.
Oh, actually, I just remembered as well, Popeyes.
Yeah.
We ordered on the kiosk machine, and they had their free refill drinks, and I didn't want to wait for my meal because I was parching. So I went over to your seat and I said, "Sorry, I just ordered my meal there, but I'm diabetic and my blood sugars are low. Can I have my drink now?" And she ran over and got me a cup.
Andy got another cup as well.
I wouldn't even mind. Then I ended up getting Diet Dr. Pepper, so I wasn't sorting my blood sugars out at all.
I regret nothing.
That really tickled me. That episode, I wet myself. I just picture you asking, "Can I please have a drink, please?"
I was so confident with it as well. You'd swear I'd done it 100 times. It just popped into my head there and then at that moment. I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
I'm wondering how many people have tried it since listening to that.
Maybe, actually.
Yeah.
James's life hacks.
Mm-hmm. Have you got any other ones? Any other highlights for us, Rachel?
Yeah, the one where you and the Fanta in
Me
the,
and me
Chinese.
That was episode 17. Let's give it a listen.
You sound like Dublin's answer to Cinderella, getting home before 12.
Literally, yeah. Well, that before getting the Chinese. I was sitting in there for like an hour, slowly eating, just watching TikToks on my phone.
Did you lose a shoe in the process?
No, I almost lost a fucking can of Fanta though, because I was just sitting there. I had my headphones in with me. I had my headphones and my earpods in, and then next of all, I just see the corner of my eye. Somebody picked up my Fanta, and I looked at him, and he was asking me something. I took my earphones out. I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Can I have?" I was like, "No, you fucking can't. Put it down." And then there was a girl sitting beside me, and she was literally just as baffled as I was, looking at me, going, "Did that really happen?"
I still couldn't get over that. I was like, what are you fucking looking at? Get away from me drink. I'm diabetic.
You and your drinks. I don't know.
I know. Well, I've said it before on the podcast, and you both know I love my novelty drinks, even though Fanta isn't really. But kiosk, soda fountain with cherry and vanilla and strawberry. Dr. Pepper is definitely one of those novelty drinks for me.
What about you, James? Have you got any highlights?
There's so many to choose from, Rachel. Well, confessions have always been one of my favorites. Some of the stories we got in were crazy, especially some of the ones we got in from Joey. So one of them has to be his stately manner confession about when he was with the hedge trimmers. Let's give it a listen.
So as I'm working around the perimeter, I get to a really thick bit of grass outside the back of the dog kennels. I start laying into the grass, and as I'm strimming away, I hit a wet spot, which I thought might have been a puddle of water, but it wasn't. It was a massive steaming pile of dog shit. If it was a Chihuahua, it would have been fine, but these were pedigree Alsatians, which don't have the best of stomachs at times, and it can only be described as a big, giant, thick burger of shit that got minced into my face in the middle of summer, in the heat. It was absolutely disgusting.
The stories he came out with, they were golden.
Joey has to be a highlight, absolutely.
Yeah, he's definitely a highlight. That's why we had to give him a shout out here on the highlight reel.
I think if we have to give out an award for confessionals, I think Joey would get it.
He definitely would win the confessional award. But I have to say, the one highlight for me throughout the whole season that I've never laughed so much, and especially Rachel, and Jake laughed too, but never as much as Rachel, was when Bradley was talking about his dad brushing his top teeth.
Not hard, are you?
And
You're eating into this.
my dad's just doing his top teeth now.
His top teeth? What did he do in sections?
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like he keeps on his shit in. It's really good material.
What does he take them out?
Of all the things, that's what breaks Rachel.
Your dad's cleaning his top teeth. He's wearing them in the morning.
You were laughing that, Rachel. Fuck me.
That's so infectious.
We've had a couple of listeners even write into me personally, some of my friends that listen, and said that your laugh makes the podcast.
Oh, thank you, listeners, and thank you for your feedback.
I
Goodness.
wonder if you're still cleaning them.
Still got them in the glass. He's wearing them in the morning.
That must have been back in episode 2.
Yeah, I think it was episode 2.
Episode 2. Wow.
Yeah.
Let me double check now. Hold on, I've got them up here. That was episode 2.
Yeah. Although
back in December, start of December.
Although there was one thing that I haven't included in the highlights reel, and there's one thing that we didn't stick by our word. We said if we got to episode 10, we'd adopt an elephant. We've not done that yet.
Sorry, everyone.
We'll have to adopt 2 elephants when we get to episode 30.
Yeah.
Don't start this again.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
No.
That was a nice little trip down memory lane then.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is sad.
Well, fucking sickies. I'm delighted for the break.
We won't be gone for too long. We'll be back with a bang.
Yeah, we're just taking a little short break, and don't you worry, we're going to be back with bigger and better than ever episode 2.
And,
episode 2, season 2.
Whoa, too much wine for James.
That's it.
Jeffrey Dahmer over there.
I know. What?
Relax, I just want to take some pictures.
It's what happens when you have a bottle of wine under £5. Well, €5.
Oh, we don't do stuff.
Oh, I was in Aldi. I went out my way just to get that orange wine that everyone's talking about online. But apparently it's only in the UK.
Well, I tried to get some on Friday night and it sold out.
Right, yesterday.
I had to leave this with a bang.
Oh, I forgot another highlight that I have saved as a soundbite.
Beg your pardon?
Oh, tribute to Bradley.
Good old Bradley.
There he is.
Gone, but not forgotten. You little shit.
Well, we did lose a few celebrities along the way as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was one thing that we had in the early stages. A lot has happened in these 20 episodes, but I think we've got a lot more to come in this episode. So I think we should crack on, don't you?
You ain't seen nothing
Yeah,
yet.
let's go. What was that?
Doing a little head bob.
This will be clipped now. So I thought we'd go back to some of our favourite crime stories, and we've had quite a few over the season. and we've had the Florida Man, where that was a bumper fest of crimes. And I wonder if anyone won that Florida Man contest. But I thought
the Florida Games.
Yeah, the Florida Games. Can you remember when we talked about that?
Yeah.
Well, I think there might be another games coming up soon in the state of Texas.
Oh.
Because this week a man has been arrested for allegedly assaulting a shop assistant with a Pop-Tart.
A what?
Was it cooked? It must have been cooked. Pop-Tart.
A Pop-Tart.
Right, please enlighten us. What is a Pop-Tart?
Do you not know what a Pop-Tart is?
No.
So a Pop-Tart it's a sweet breakfast. Yeah, technically it's a breakfast meal, and you have jam flavored Pop-Tarts covered with icing, but they have different ones now. They have s'mores and it's like a biscuit base.
Okay.
And you pop them in the toaster for about a minute, but you run the risk of burning your mouth. And that's why James...
I'm going to share it. I'm going to pull it up on screen now so you can see what it is. You definitely have seen this before, Rachel, unless they never made it across the border.
I actually haven't made it to the US ever.
No, they're over here too.
Do we have them here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get the basic ones, strawberry and raspberry.
Well, we don't have those pretzel type or the wild berry, but yeah, definitely the strawberry and raspberry ones.
No, I've never heard of them.
And that's what they look like. You put them in the that's what they look like there with the hundreds of thousands, and you just pop them in the poster. That fucking wine, lads.
Toaster.
You pop them in the toaster for like a minute and a half, and that does the job for you then.
Yeah.
All right, okay. I like that one. The one with it looks like a birthday cake. That looks great.
I think that's a strawberry one. I think. So,
I know.
Now you know.
Audi do their own version as well. So
even cheaper again.
Yes.
Even cheaper again.
Always looking for a bargain. So yes, so a man's been allegedly arrested for throwing a Pop-Tart at a shop worker, and he even caused injury. But it must have been uncooked because they are quite solid. It must have been a stale Pop-Tart to cause injury in Texas.
You'd want to be fucking cremated to cause injury. You're floppy fuckers.
Well, it got me thinking about crazy laws that people can break. So it's a bit of a...
I love this.
And unfortunately, we're not doing border control this week, so I thought I'd have a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
And we'd have a bit of border control of weird laws in UK and Ireland. Don't worry, I've not forgot about you, James.
Yeah.
So the first one, I will go to Ireland. And up to 2015, it was illegal to be drunk or swear on a Sunday. We'd be fucked.
Oh,
that's actually quite true. That's true.
Well, 2015 was, I think, the year. No, it wasn't actually. The pubs were closed on Good Sunday, no, I'm getting mixed up there. Easter Sunday and Good Friday up until lockdown. I think
that's right.
Oh,
and they changed all.
Was it the same up there?
They changed all the like the what do you call it? The opening times and closing times as well around that like Easter and that.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the laws, the crazy laws on a Sunday, was in Northern Ireland as well, and I think it's still active, but no one gets punished for it. But it's illegal to go to
petrol bombs.
Whoa!
Hang on, whoa. I got told off in episode 1 for mentioning conflict, and now you're throwing out the whole petrol bomb,
the pipes and bombs and their guns, eh?
Yeah. All in your head.
But it was illegal to go to the cinema on a Sunday, and technically it still is, and you can get fined £50.
To go to the pictures on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Lock me up. Lock me up.
Here, look at us all, by the way. We're actually breaking the rules. If we were back then, we're all drinking on a Sunday.
I'm swearing.
It's Thursday, Rachel.
Well.
Everybody knows why
not. Bringing it back to Thursdays. If you're in, this is no longer active. It was up to 2013. But if you were within the walls of York City between Monday and Thursday, it was legal to murder a Scotsman as long as they are armed with a crossbow.
What?
Yeah.
Legal.
It's only illegal if they're armed with a crossbow.
No, it's legal if they're armed with a crossbow.
Oh, that's good to know.
Well, it's illegal now, so yeah.
Where's Marty McFly and Doc? Get me that fucking DeLorean.
We've just lost a load of Scottish listeners now. Thanks to
including
you.
me. Goodbye.
Yes.
Yeah, 20%. Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I'll bring it back to Dublin, and this one is still active. This law. So, did you know it's a legal requirement to cross the lawns of Trinity College with a sword?
It's a legal
No,
requirement.
It's a legal requirement.
It's
So, yeah.
legal.
So
you have to do
it's
it
legal,
with a
you have
sword.
to. Yes.
Oh. What sword?
Fuck.
What are we talking? What?
Just a sword. Like
All right, King Arthur. Getting into specifics.
Like, give us the name.
Excalibur.
Yeah.
And it's still written down in their laws of the college. So do you want to try that one tomorrow?
Yeah. Go, James.
Yeah, can't
Take
do
a wee
it.
video.
Yeah, hold on, I'll whip me Excalibur out.
Wait for the.
Yeah, it's legal to do it in there, but to carry it, conceal it all the way in is illegal. So you're fucked either way. Oh, I've got one as well. Here's a border control force. What do you call it when you knock on somebody's door and run away?
Rapid doors and run.
Knock a door, run.
Is that what you
Knock
call
the door,
it?
Belfast rap.
I call it in Dublin we call it knick-knack.
Knick-knack.
A knick-knack.
No, I think it's
Okay.
rapid
Yeah,
doors and
like-
run.
And like for Americans, they call it ding-dong ditch. That's actually legal in Ireland.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I just call it knock a door, run.
No, we call it knick-knacks.
I was always the one to get caught because I was the slowest runner whenever we used to do knock a door, run.
Oh,
Yeah. Just hide behind the nearest car.
hide behind the bin in the garden.
You know my history of bins, so we're not going to go there. That's bringing up trauma.
What happened to you in the bin?
We'll save that for another confession. We'll save that
No.
for season 2.
Tell us
No,
now,
we'll save that
Jake.
for season 2.
Enlighten us.
Oh, I think I've just landed myself in it, haven't I? From
Yep.
something that got
You've only gone and done it now.
Done it.
So I have a history of when I am absolutely steaming drunk. I've done it on 2 occasions.
Oh.
Fell out of a taxi and fell into a bin.
How the hell?
Beg your pardon?
Yeah.
How the hell have you done that?
It was all down to the wine.
It was
Oh,
me.
yes.
It wasn't me. It was
Currently
Patricia.
drinking.
And the second
Yeah.
time, I took it to the next level. I fell into a wheelie bin, then stumbled into a brick house.
Really?
Yep. So thanks for that. Thanks for that, James. Just for I thought we'd save that for season 2, but no.
I love the way you say, I know your trauma with bins. I didn't know that at all, Jake.
That was a confession. That was something that you got told when you came over. I'm glad you forgot it, and I've reminded you.
Oh.
I don't remember that.
Anyway, back to the laws.
Too busy being
Moving
sick and
swiftly on.
popcorn.
Yeah.
It's actually illegal to do it after 8 o'clock in Pop World.
Got sick. Well, I was on the cusp, I think.
Yeah.
They might let me away.
So the other 2, it is illegal to handle a salmon in suspicious circumstances.
In Sicily.
We'll come back to Bradley's tongue twister that only lasted about 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So don't handle your salmon in suspicious circumstances.
Now, I don't know whether this is in Swiss or this is
No.
Sicily.
Don't handle that Swiss salmon in suspicious circumstances.
Whoa! Go on, Jake.
There we go.
And the crowd goes
Look at him.
wild.
He's shoved. He's fucking shoved. Jesus, that's a long audio.
That
Shut
is.
up.
Even I'm thinking I've milked it there.
Milked it.
And finally, talking of milking, and what
Whoa. This could go
Who
anywhere.
are you
and what-
milking and where and when and why?
and something that we can't do after this episode. So the law that still stands in England, possibly the UK, is you can't use a cow, horse, or a steam engine whilst drunk.
Use a cow. That's very vague.
Well, you can't operate a steam engine.
Oh, a cow. I'm talking.
But you can't herd.
use a cow.
You can't herd a
You
cow.
have to bring her out for dinner first.
Oh, Jesus. We've
So
opened up a
that was
can of
my-
worms.
I know that was my tenuous link into cows. Well, I think before this goes any more off the rails, I think we should move on.
I've got a couple though.
Oh, have you?
I've got because America's got loads of weird ones. I don't know. I went down a rabbit hole like we all do sometimes online, and I just went down a mad rabbit hole for weird US laws. So some of them I can just think off the top of my head is you're not allowed to put a donkey in a bathtub in Arizona.
Right.
Okay.
It was something to do with back in the 1920s. Somebody did don't ask me why, but they put a donkey in a bathtub and it fell through the ceiling and killed somebody downstairs. So since then, it's been illegal to put a donkey in a bathtub in Arizona.
Who puts donkeys in bathtubs, please?
It was back in the 20s. It was a different time, Rachel.
If anybody has any stories, please let us know.
How did they get up the stairs?
What?
How did they get the donkey up the stairs?
I know.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
What else is there? You're not allowed to collect seaweed in New Hampshire.
Oh, Dulles.
Dulles? Yeah. Is that in New Hampshire?
We call it Dulles up here, and you can get a bag of it. You can buy it for like 50p or a pound. And you can eat it. We eat it up here. It's called Dulles.
Yeah, do you ever see in like the Chinese supermarkets or the Chinese markets, you can get like the sheets of it and you can just chomp on it?
But that's not real seaweed.
It looks nice.
That's not real seaweed though.
What is
real
cabbage?
No, this is real seaweed.
So crispy seaweed that you get from the Chinese is cabbage.
All right, okay. Well, this is real seaweed that we get up here from the sea. It's called Dulles.
I can tell James is dying to prove me wrong.
He really is.
No, I'm looking up different laws because I ran out of them.
There's a place up here now that sells moss, seaweed moss, and you drink it, and apparently it's really good for your body.
It's for all the hippies.
Apparently.
Yeah. Well, you're meant to rub it on your skin as well, aren't you?
Oh, rub it. He's like,
Oh. Another US one I have here is it's illegal if you're over 14 years of age to go trick-or-treating in Virginia.
Get away. How would you know?
But to be honest,
this is going to go back to Dad's top teeth. In Vermont, women must get written permission from their husbands if they want to get false teeth.
Love Vermont. It's the season of the top teeth.
Season of the
teeth. Wow. We're throwing it.
Yeah, well, that's all the ones I have, I think. All the ones of interest. Oh, no, there's more seaweed. Oh, no, we got that one. Seaweed in New Hampshire. Seaweed. I beg your pardon.
Do you have any other laws, Rach, before we move on?
No, don't really abide by laws and rules right now.
Oh,
okay. Especially on a Sunday. Okay, well, I think we should move on.
So on this week's 50p, we're going to give it to the listeners. Give the 50p to the listeners.
I've got 50p. Fuck you, bastard.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph, would you get rid of that signboard? No harm to you.
I'm on fire tonight. Being alive.
Would you stop ruining my segments?
Okay, go for it. Go on.
So, we put up a poll during the week, didn't we?
Yes.
We had a lot of responses. And it was all about Icks. So a lot of the listeners had put in the word ick gives me the ick.
I get that. One though.
It's like an onomatopoeia.
Like, why?
I'm sorry, I beg your pardon.
An
onomatopoeia.
Ick.
Yucky.
Brother.
So we have women that sell wax melts on Facebook.
I know the exact thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's just reality, isn't it? Men that think they are middle class when buying a party dip tray.
I feel targeted.
Why, Jake?
Because last week we were talking about dips and Lazy Susans, and I said the middle class dip with 4 dips in one. And I feel that is a listener that listened to last week's episode and wanted to declare that I was definitely a walking ick after I got shamed last week, and I feel I'm getting shamed this week. And I'm only hoping
middle class though. Didn't that cost you like £1 or £2?
£3 them dips are now.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Oh, sorry, that must be middle class then.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a £5 or £6 maybe in Marxies?
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 What about Waitrose?
What's Waitrose?
Oh, you don't have that there. We don't have that either though.
You were paying £6.
I thought Rachel
Look at you pretending you had Waitrose and all. Look at you.
I didn't pretend. I didn't pretend. Ireland don't have it. We haven't got Asda either.
Oh, well, we do.
I know
Right.
you do. I'll pass it on into Nuri.
I'm only
Get
hoping.
me green diesel.
I'm only
No,
hoping.
joking.
That,
Anyone listening?
I'm only hoping James gets targeted as well this week with Icks.
Maybe. Men. Oh
Yeah.
no, not
Being Irish.
men that get heartburn from nothing.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Past James the Rennies. Right now.
I know. Well, look, I have a pack of Rennies just like fucking 4 feet away from me right
All
now.
the time. Every day.
Wait. I thought I had some in my top shelf here.
Top drawer.
Top drawer. Top teeth.
Men stomping their nose.
Stomping their
Stomping.
nose.
Yeah.
Sniffing.
Stomping.
Oh, okay.
Not
Typo,
sure about that one.
maybe.
Men sitting in a shallow bath. It's a wee bit targeted at men here, isn't it? I've got a few more coming up for women, so we'll see. Letting someone cross over. They do the run, which is no longer no faster than walking to the wee run, crossing over the road. Or if you let someone ban, you're like,
yeah. Or if Jake lets somebody buy in Sherwood Forest and then he starts beeping at them.
Did he do that?
No, I did.
Yes.
He was letting them go by, and then I just start beep. I put my hand around the corner of underneath so they couldn't see and start beeping his horn so it looked like him. He's like, no.
I'm sure you weren't doing anything else.
It was only in the country 2 hours.
I've got another one. People thanking car drivers for stopping at a zebra crossing.
And this was a zebra crossing.
Or that white person smile where you curl your lips in, you go,
yeah. Oh, what about so this is another one. Middle-aged men in lycra who think they become professional cyclists overnight.
or wear lycra as actual shorts. They're meant to be underneath, or the Under Armour top as a t-shirt.
Underneath.
Yeah.
Middle-aged chav men who walk around with no top on, even though it's not sunny outside.
You see that in Dublin a lot as well. It's literally fucking 1st of May and it's 10 degrees and you just see everyone out with their fucking
tops off
with a t-shirt just tucked into the waistband.
Yeah.
One wee bit of sunshine, it's like tops off. Or women who decide to get the Ferrari tattoo on the Trump stamp area on their muffin tops, but it's stretched but it's stretched out or faded real bad and it looks more like the Queen's head on a stamp. What the fuck?
I seen a woman's tattoo. She told me about before she showed me it. She was like middle-aged. She got a dolphin on her holidays when she was like 21.
Jeez.
When she showed me, and it was on like a kind of her hip, the lower part of her stomach. When she showed me it 20 years later, it was a fucking whale.
Stop.
It was stretched out a bit.
Well, there you go. It's an ick. Another ick. This is someone else writing in. Thank you. People talking with their mouths open when their mouths are full. It looks like a washing machine.
In the fucking bin with you.
In the bin with you.
And then when that bit of food just drops out and it lands right in front of you.
Or it lands in your beard and it catches. Keep it for later.
I've had it before when someone's been eating with the mouth open and a little bit of food landed on my hand.
What? Jake, that's traumatizing.
I know.
I only had it recently where somebody was talking to me and it happened as well, where they were eating and they were speaking to me and I didn't even notice, but their food came out and got me on the shoulder and they just went, oh, sorry, and start wiping it off. And I'm like, man, I didn't even see that. Now I'm aware, I'm hyper-focused of it now. If you didn't say anything, I would have just got on about my day. Now that's playing in my mind until I go home and change.
Oh my God.
I can only apologise for that, James.
Traumatizing. Autotype when it changes the word. And you send it, like you literally send it, and it's like, oh shit. Like duck. Sometimes it's fuck, duck, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then somebody tries to correct themselves and they keep getting it wrong. Duck, I mean deck, I mean fuck.
Fuck up.
Duck up. Duck up.
Hey up me duck.
Oh, someone picking their teeth. Someone picking their teeth.
I think we all do it.
I know, but picking their nose and then shaking your hand.
Oh, dirty pig.
Or if you see a driver and you're driving up beside him with the lights, they're sitting.
Yeah, I'd purposely go out of my way, and I'm like,
I'd be like,
just stare them down.
Pick a winner for me, son.
Pick us a lotto number there while you're ready.
And then they eat it.
What, Jake? Jesus Christ. Well, listeners, thank you very much for sending in all your icks and giving you the chance to put the 50p in the dickhead. Have you lads got any icks that you really don't like?
Really? No, I don't have that many personal icks. I just love looking up the fucking funny and hilarious ones.
Yeah,
I think I've probably read most of them out last week.
It's like when it,
excuse me,
when it actually happens, like you didn't think of it, and you have to save it in a wee bank and be like, "That is so good." Yeah. So I think we've had a good week with all the submissions, haven't we?
Keep them coming. I think if you have any icks while we're away, just let us know.
Yep.
Who put 50p in the ickhead?
I sense a new segment coming for season 2.
Oh, for God's sake, take that soundboard off him.
Hang on. I have got an ick. Someone that overplays the soundboard.
Whoa! Smelt that one coming.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. Let's go.
That's us. As promised, today we have a very special guest joining us. The multi-talented and very close friend to us all, Danny Willis. He's hailing from the charming town of Epsom to move on to make waves in the vibrant city of London. Danny's journey into the world of entertainment has taken him across continents and stages, from starring in musicals to captivating audience with his drag performances. With a resume that reads like a theatre kid's dream, Danny's career spans from an early days studying musical theatre in Nescott College to setting up his own theatre company, Youth Theatre, and beyond. Whether he's belting out show tunes or dazzling audiences in drag, Danny's passion for performance knows no bounds. Please welcome Danny to the podcast.
I feel like this is like an episode of This Is Your Life.
It's giving that point.
And like how you must have like
welcome to the podcast, Danny.
Through my Facebook, all my socials, to get all of that.
Yeah, that was James.
We're professionals.
James the stalker.
We're professionals. No, I deep dived. I spent hours. I went right back. I scrubbed through all your social medias to find all this info. Well, bits we already knew from being friends.
Well, I wonder what else you found on there, because there's a lot.
Well, that'll be in the bonus episode. Make sure you subscribe.
Danny
is really pleased to be on with you guys.
Oh, happy to have you.
Yeah.
Danny is my best friend.
No, we couldn't think of a better first guest to have on.
I'm excited.
And we know that you're an avid listener as well, and thank you as well for supporting us. So we wanted to dedicate the first guest slot to you.
Oh, no worries. Thank you. Yeah, proud to be a listener.
This is like the Dublin meetup again. What is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dublin foursome.
Yeah, should we talk about that? Yeah, so Danny was in that Dublin meetup we're at too.
I was indeed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Had me my first Guinness in a long time.
He split the J's.
Rachel's on them right now.
Indeed.
Did you split the G?
I did not.
She's gone way past the G.
She was splitting skulls last night in Belfast City.
Shut up.
So yeah, you're drinking as well, Danny, are you?
Crabbies.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers. Woo.
Mm-mm. Yeah, so what do you want to know then?
I think I'm going to start it off, Danny. So I'll go easy on you. Right. So I'm going to go all the way to your time that you spent in London. I know it's quite recent as well. So I just want to hear what were your fondest memories from being in London, and are there any particular places or experiences that stand out to you whilst you were there?
So, I mean, I love London, and like the majority of my time, like from, I think I was like 16 onwards, I moved out of my mum's council house on a council estate. Couldn't wait to get out of there, and moved in with my best friend into his house in London. And yeah, most of my kind of weekends were spent in town. I wasn't quite fully out at that time. So I'm a gay man, if you didn't know. Oh yeah, because it's not obvious, so I have to let your listeners know. And my best friend who was out, he showed me kind of the gay scene, and yeah, I mean, James, you mentioned about kind of drag in London. That's where it all kind of began, really. When I was at college and living with my friend, we were out doing drag every weekend, getting rather drunk, getting up to all sorts of debauchery, which...
That's not like a drag queen at all, is it?
But it's funny, you know, because like drag has changed a lot. You know, like it's weird. I remember like one of my fondest memories of London and just like being in drag was if I was out in drag, I could walk down Old Compton Street and people knew my name. You'd be like, "Oh, there's Ange. Hello, Ange. All right, Ange. Come on, love. How you doing?" If I walked down Old Compton Street as me as Danny, nobody knew who I was. So
you're basically Sia before Sia.
But it's funny just to see like how drag has like taken off and kind of taken over as well. But yeah, they're kind of my fondest memories of London, is being young in drag, carefree, not a care in the world, getting drunk, meeting all sorts of people from all sorts of walks of life. Yeah. And then like...
Sounds like university.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it was my university in a way because I didn't go, and that was, you know, that was all my time just in London. I could tell you so many stories, but yeah.
Go on. Have you got one to tell us?
Just one. Give us one. Go on.
Oh my goodness. So my friend Elliot, he also goes by the name Jacqueline Hyde. And then at that time, it was Jacqueline Hyde. She's now known as Jackie Stone. And she used to work in the Shadow Lounge. So the Shadow Lounge was a big gay club in Soho that was owned by, oh God, I can't remember her name, but she's from the Real Housewives of Lisa Vanderpump. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
That sounds like a drag queen.
Yeah.
She looks like one too, but... And I remember that because I didn't work there, but basically I got in everywhere for free with her, you know, VIP lounge, sat there doing whatever. It was great. Free drinks, you name it. Sitting there with the celebs, Cilla Black, and, you know, all people.
Name dropping. Do
we have a can?
And me and Jackie at the time had got a gig, which was to help open a new bar that was opening in Soho. That was it was called Boobs. So you've got Hooters. Well, this one was called Boobs, and it was opened by a page 3 model. I can't remember her name, but I remember that Jackie was supposed to be working at Shadow Lounge, turned up for work. We then went out of the Shadow Lounge down to this opening to open up this club and, you know, mingle with all of these people. And we ended up taking another page 3 girl back with us to the Shadow Lounge. And her name was called Sunny Day. And we got to the door, and the bouncer at the door was like, right, Jackie, you're going down to work. Yeah, fine. Angie, yeah, you can come in. Who's this that's with you? She can't come in because all she had was like this kind of crop top that had boobs written across it. And he was like, no, you can't come in here because you're opening that club. It's like you're trying to promote the club. So she was like, okay, well, no problem. So literally in the middle of the street, I mean, it's buzzing, it's crowded, everyone's around, there's people in the queue. She just whips her top off, These massive, like, jalopy page 3 tits are out on display. She turns it inside out, puts it back on. She goes, better?
Of course they do.
Oh, Danny, I can imagine the scenes and the stories you have to tell. But if you've just told us that, God knows what you get up to.
Yeah, that's a tame one. There's many more. I'll tell you offline.
Well, we're an 18 plus podcast, so I think we can get away with it. But we might need to share one a bit later on with us. But like I say, it sounds like you've had an amazing time in London, and just obviously that time in London that you had. How do you think it influenced your love for the arts and performance of whilst you were there?
So, I mean, I've always had a love for the arts. I mean, I was on stage in primary school, and I knew that I wanted to do acting, singing, performing. I don't know what it was. It was kind of incumbent, everything I wanted to do. And I just pursued it. I was just like, I've got to do this, you know. And
amazing.
I come from a broken home. I lived on a council estate, didn't have a lot of money. I had to go to, I went to like public college that was like, didn't have to like pay anything for. I did a performing arts course there for 3 years, which I absolutely loved. And then, yeah, I mean, it just kind of, it's been there since I was a kid. It's always been something I wanted to do. And
it's in your blood, Danny. It's in your blood.
It is in my blood. You know what? And it's funny because I've got 3 sisters as well, and they are all performing artists as well. Like, 2 of them are on cruise ships. Another one sings, that does gigging in bars and stuff. It's definitely in the Willis blood.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the Willis women.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did mention there that you went to community college there. Is that was Nescott Community College, wasn't it? How do you reckon that contributed to your passion for performing?
Oh, massively. The people that I was doing the courses with, the people that were teaching me, I got to just sing and dance and act a fool every day for 3 years. I mean, like, who wouldn't want to do that and then like gain a qualification after 3 years for doing?
It's like, amazing.
Just having a blast. Like every day was like a musical. We'd just be, from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock, just singing all day, learning instruments, learning the history of theatre, putting on shows. It massively had a profound impact in my performing. Not only my like kind of dream, but like my vision and what I wanted to do. Like I was like, I know I want to do this, but at the same time, like, I'm a 17, 18-year-old kid not living at home anymore and have to earn a wage. Like I want to do things. I want to like go out and get drunk and whatever. So, I had to earn a wage. So it was difficult because I was like, I know I want to do this as a profession, but I also very much enjoy going out and spending time with my friends and getting drunk and, living it up. So I don't know, there was something in me that was maybe holding me back from going to drama school because I just thought maybe, how am I ever going to survive doing something like drama school if I want to go out and have a good time and whatever. So naturally, I ended up getting a normal job. I say normal. I got a job, and it made things a lot harder to pursue a career, in theatre or like performance.
Yeah, that was a very young age at 17. Like, trying to earn a living, trying to be a teenager, trying to enjoy your life, maybe going to uni, maybe going to into your theatre or musicals and all that and pursuing that. But that's very hard to do whenever you feel like maybe you didn't have not enough support, but how did you do it all on your own, But yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so from that I was working, I don't know, working in a pub, I worked in a pharmacy, and then kind of just did shows on the side. So I would do like a panto, I would go and do like amateur dramatics with my local theatre company and do some shows there. But at that time it wasn't a lot, because at that time I'd just come out of the closet. And so I was really kind of just living it up every night, every weekend out in London.
Enjoying yourself?
100%.
Well, like you said, you got a job and moved a little bit away from the theatre bit, but you still had an extensive career in theatre. And just to name a few, you've done Tommy the Musical, Sister Act, Hairspray, The Producers, Grease, We Will Rock You, Priscilla, Sweeney Todd, Footloose, Rootless, Jasper the Deadlands, Cabaret, and Company. So you've still got an extensive arsenal there of theatre shows that you've done. So tell us about your journey into getting into those, and how did you discover your passion from after these shows? How did it develop?
So, I mean, before I did all of those, I had had a little stint in the pop industry. So I was in a pop group for a while, and it was after that kind of ended that I kind of went back into, okay, I need to perform, I need to do something. So I just, found my local theatre group, that Amateur Dramatics, and kind of fell into it that way. And it's really funny because, people give Amateur Dramatics a bit of a bad name with Amateur Dramatics, but let me tell you, like, some of the shows that like we put on, and the amount of money, time, and dedication that goes into doing them is, not far off what you get in professional quality. I mean, you're still, these shows can cost like minimum like 15 grand up. A lot of them exceeding like kind of 30 plus. And then you've got like a full scale orchestra that's performing for you. I mean, you can't beat it. So for me, it was like, if I can't do this professionally, this is more than enough filling that void. And, I've got to play some amazing characters and parts in these plays. Some that I've played twice, some that I would play more than twice. I would go back and do them all again. And, kind of built up a bit of a family through theatre, and through like joining these groups, because you become a family. You spend all your time together, like rehearsing, and then like, you end up mounting this like production that I don't know how to explain it. I mean, you can't beat it. I mean, have any of you ever been on stage?
I haven't been on stage, but I've been in like choirs, and I did like production in school, and I actually have a music degree, so I know exactly where you're coming from, and this is so interesting to hear, because I didn't know half of this about you, Danny. So yeah, I'm quite inspired. So yeah, thank you for sharing.
No worries, but there's a buzz. There's just an absolute buzz about being on stage, being scared out of your wits as well. Like, don't get me wrong, it is scary, but the buzz you get, like, you cannot beat it. Hearing an audience,
and once you get over it, like once you get over that like first time doing it, and then it just becomes like so natural and stuff. Like I can imagine. And with people,
I've never done any. Sorry,
with people who like enjoy the same drive, enjoy the same, getting that buzz out of the show, or getting that, before and after on the show, and how well we all did, or how well you all did. And I can imagine it's like a big family.
I'm seeing similarities. I've never done stage or anything like that, but I've done boxing for years. But the way you're explaining it is the same I find for boxing. That rush you get when you're in the ring, and the adrenaline, and just feeling like you're looking down on yourself nearly. And then afterwards, just to crash then, because you've had so much energy and you're at such a high afterwards, you just crash then.
Yeah, you get post-show blues, or post punch up
Yeah.
blues.
Yeah.
I've had a similar one. I think we mentioned before I had a bit of a dabble with it when I did it mainly for confidence, sort of just to get that. And I did get that bug, and it sort of got me thinking a lot more about things. And like I say, the rush of being in that little community, like what I did, I must have been 14 at the time, and going through that. And when you're a teenager as well, and it can be quite difficult going through school and then doing those sort of things, but it's all about the commitment and the drive and the energy that you can all bring to it. So what you've just said, Danny, is like it sounds like what I felt as well, and it sounds amazing that you sort of took it that one step further and went further with it.
Yeah. So off the back of that, Danny, you said that you enjoyed like doing all different roles. Do you have a favorite role or production that stands out to you, and why?
Ooh. Yeah, I probably got a couple. So I really like the comedic roles, the roles that kind of also roles that kind of push boundaries a little bit. So a particular favorite of mine is Roger Debris from Mel Brooks, The Producers. I don't know if any of you have ever seen it.
No.
But Roger Debris is like this, theatre director, very flamboyant, very gay. And he ends up having to play Hitler in the musical Springtime for Hitler. And I'm telling you, it's just an absolute blast. It's hysterical, tongue-in-cheek, like brilliant musical numbers. Yeah, I've probably got a clip somewhere which I'll send to you.
You do. Yeah, I've stumbled across it while I was researching it. Yeah, I've seen it. Well, can we got permission to post that on the story?
Go ahead.
Oh, we'll definitely do that.
So roles like that kind of push boundaries and just get the audience belly laughing, like wetting themselves. Another particular favourite was Edna Turnblad in Hairspray. Absolutely loved that. And then most recently, a couple of years ago, I just did Company in Houston with the Art Factory. And I didn't originally want to do that show because I'd seen a version of it here in the UK. I'm not going to say whose production I saw, but I wasn't a fan of it. I just thought this is boring. It's not funny. And then the director, Colton Berry, he said, right, no, I want you to watch this particular version of it. And it was a concert version online. And I watched it and I thought, oh my God, this is nothing like what I'd seen. I absolutely love this. I ended up getting cast in that as Harry.
As Harry, wasn't it? There we go.
And absolutely had a blast. Company is a very great show. It's just come off Broadway. They'd just done an all-female version. The version I was in was obviously not all-female. But yeah, another big highlight for me was that one.
Very good. So musical theatre isn't only the performing arts in your arsenal. You've also ventured into the drag performance. What inspired you to explore this aspect of performance art, and what do you enjoy most about it?
So, I mean, when I was just coming out of the closet, and my best friend Elliot, I was living with, his mother. She was a character. That's another story as well. But she had like loads of like 80s clothes that she'd left in the flat. And me and him, we used to just dress up in these clothes and just like decorate the flat. So we'd be like scraping the wallpaper out of the bathroom, just like in drag and singing along to songs in a mohawk, like, red kind of drag.
Please tell me the blinds were
again?
up. Please tell me the blinds were up.
Well, the thing is that we would do this like early hours of the morning, tunes blaring, like scraping and mopping and, like lip syncing to Celine Dion, Tell Him, and all of that. And then what we would do, because he lived on this kind of council estate as well, is we would go out because the bin man used to come in the morning at like 5 o'clock. So we used to go down where the bins were in drag, like the worst drag you've seen, like this little pussycat wig turned back. I think I look like B. Arthur. He always gave me like the worst clothes to wear. He always had to have the best
hand-me-downs.
clothes. And then we used to wait for the bin men to come by, and then we'd like wave and then run away. They think we're women, like women by the bins.
Do you know what springs to mind? Do you know, is it Aerosmith?
Queen.
Dude looks like a lady. And you start cleaning and doing it.
You want to break free with springs to mind for me. With the Hoover. And the mustache and all. And Danny's there thinking, oh, they think we're women.
Like Mrs. Doubtfire here.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I don't think we've told the listeners yet. What was your drag name?
So it's gone for a couple of iterations as I've kind of, grown up. So my original, and you hear it first, my original name was Tracy Paper, as in like.
I love it.
And then it was Angie Flange, and that's what it was for a long time, through my kind of early 20s. And then it became Angie Rock. And then Jackie, who was Jacqueline Hyde, became Jackie Stone. And so we were Rock and Stone together.
Oh, cool.
I like that.
How did you come up with these kind of like, how do you drag acts come up with like really good names? Like, they're really good names.
You just kind of sit there and make them up, kind of like, double entendre names, innuendos. I remember we would just sit on holiday, like on a beach in Zakynthos or something, and just like sit there and just make up names, all sorts of names.
Brilliant.
Oh, well, like I say, we've covered quite a few areas actually, but we sort of want to take a bit of a different turn. So what would you say has been the most challenging aspect of balancing your career in musical theatre and drag with your personal life? Because like you said, it can get quite hectic as well with doing a day-to-day job, and having your creative lifestyle as well.
Yeah, I mean, now that I'm in kind of full-time work and have kind of made a career in, design and kind of change management, it's kind of a bit more kind of serious, more work, less play, almost. And of course, then I was also married for a period of time. Things like priorities change. I've got 2 animals now, so that all kind of has a massive impact on it. I've forgotten what the question was.
It was just the challenging aspects, and mentioned that obviously you've got animals in your life as well, and those sort of things. But it's like, what would you say has been the most challenging side of things of that? Whether it was your time in London, America, or currently.
I'd probably say currently is the hardest. I mean, I've come back to, I was 6 years in the USA, and I've come back to London, a divorced man on my own with 2 dogs, quite selfishly thinking, okay, I'm going to come back and I'm going to fit right back in where I left off. But of course, that doesn't happen. I've been away for 6 years and people have moved away. People have had children. Their priorities have changed. So I think that's probably it's been a bit hard that way. But luckily, I've found a lot of good friends on virtual reality that help there as well. And of course, I've got my kind of nearest and dearest here as well. But yeah, I think right now it's probably been the hardest.
Yeah, well, as I say, as one door closes, another one opens. So hopefully, like, things will turn a corner as well, and moving forward, like, opportunities are going to come up as well. But obviously, when I know you briefly touched about the when you were doing the promo for the nightclub boobs. We just want to know, like, if you've got any other memorable experiences or funny anecdotes from your time performing on stage or in drag.
That smile tells it all.
He's reminiscing. What can I tell and what can I not tell?
Okay, I'll tell you. Sorry, we'll tell you some other ones. So before, like, back then in the early 2000s, I guess it would have been, we didn't have the Ubers and whatever. It was basically, if you wanted a cab, you hailed down someone that was like, need a cab? Yep, we'll take a cab. And I remember this happened on more than one occasion, that me and Jackie would, at the end of a night, heels would be off, be like, oh, we need to get a taxi home. So we'd holler a taxi. They were pretty good as to, like, busted up drag queens that are just like absolutely wasted. And I remember that we had this little thing where we were like, right, we're going to do a runner. We're going to leg it. So what we would do is we would get the cab to drop us off at a place where we knew we could, like, run through the estate. We knew the way, it was like if somebody chased after us, they'll just get lost. So it'd be like, we'd have our heels off and it'd be like, all right, Jackie, right, are you getting this or am I? And she'd be like, oh, you get it. And I'd be like, okay, I'm just going to come round and pay you. So I'd, like, walk around with my heels in my hands, going through my little handbag and be like, how much is it? How much is it? And they're in the cab, and then we'd just be like, run, leg it. And then we'd just see, like, these, drag queens running with the hair whipping in the wind.
Oh my god!
And
we did that we did it, a few times. And I remember that we once had a little protege drag queen with us. I can't remember her name, Chelsea or something, and she was staying with us one night in the flat. And she hadn't been to the flat, but we told her what we were going to do. We were like, right, we're going to leg it after this night when we get out of the cab. So she didn't know which way to run. So one time we were like, leg it. So me and, Jackie legged it and she legged it, but she didn't know where she was going. So the cabbie caught her, and he actually punched her.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh god!
And so and then I tottered back and I was like, I just had to go and get some money. I didn't have it in my purse. And when I bloody paid him.
Oh, fuck,
so what's the don't do runners.
Don't do runners, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Always pay your taxi driver.
So, like, Danny, the way you've done so much on theatre, and you've also done pantomimes as well, and even on drag, how do you approach character development when in a musical role or even pantomime? And do you have any specific methods or techniques that you do?
Not really. I mean, a lot of the time I've kind of seen someone play the role before, right? Because I've seen the show, and I guess one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to do a carbon copy of something. You might take things and think like, oh, I remember when that person did that. That was funny. I might use that. But I don't know. You just kind of, you can do a bit of Stanislavski technique, which is kind of getting into the character, finding out who the character is. What do they like for dinner? Where did they grow up? You could go through all of that. I tend not to go that deep. Yeah. But I genuinely just like to have a bit of fun with it and play around with a couple of ideas. And then, you kind of quickly work out if something's working or if it's not. Like with panto, I would always do like a northern accent because that's just what I imagine a panto sounds like that.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh yes, it is.
All right, let's have a look then. You can just have a little play around with it. And then, like with other characters, just you just get a feel for who they are and how they are, and yeah. And the same applies with like drag, just having fun with it,
And obviously, being on theatre, you're obviously a singer, and you've mentioned it already. So musical theatre is obviously a style that you're into. But apart from that, is there any other genres or styles that you like? And is there any in particular artists or influence influences that you've had in your singing style?
In my singing style, not really. I mean, it's predominantly kind of women singers, I think, that I really like. So Bette Midler, Tina Arena, Barbra Streisand, all of the gay icons, basically. I'm trying to think of like kind of musical theatre wise. No, I mean,
not even musical theatre, even just music genres that you listen to yourself.
I mean, I listen to all sorts. I think a lot of my style comes from my mum, I think, as well. Like my mum would like, when I was younger, always have the music blaring when she's doing the housework. There was like Lisa Stansfield going. There was reggae. There was all sorts that she was playing. I think a lot of my kind of musical taste comes from her. So I'm kind of like, I'm all over the place with my genres. I love all sorts of styles. Not so much like heavy metal. Sure. That's never been my thing. I can appreciate what it is, but it's not going to get me kind of moving. I like something that happens.
And your drag name is Rock. Shame on you.
Okay. I think you found a niche there. Okay. Heavy metal drag queen.
Yeah, I mean there are some out there. There are some quirky ones. When I was in drag, I wanted to look as fishy as possible. I just wanted to exude being what a woman must feel like. I don't want to be a woman. I've never wanted to be a woman, but I loved that whole, like, building up this whole persona and being this blonde bimbo that was just from Essex. It was just not from Essex. With some white stillies on and just having a blast.
I'm just connecting the dots now. You wanted to exude what it was like to feel like a woman, and the first thing you did was clean a scrub waltz.
Yes.
Take the bins
out. Well, going off the back of that, Danny, you obviously wanted to explore that side. Can you tell us about your experience performing on Big Brother's bit on the side as a drag queen? What was the response like from the audience?
They loved it. So a friend of mine at the time, Andy West, was a contestant and came fourth on the show. He put me down as one of the kind of friends and family to come on and support if they ever needed it. So along with his boyfriend or fiance at the time, we got invited on. And of course it was like, well, you need to come in drag. And I was like, okay, well, I'll come in drag. And Elliot as well, Jackie, she came in drag, but she kept the beard. So in the clip that there is, she's in the audience with a full-on beard, but in drag. It was fun. I hadn't been on TV in drag before, and I just thought, what the hell? This is a laugh. And at the same time, I was managing Andy's Twitter account whilst he was in the house, and so I kind of like, I don't know. Once I'd been on TV as Angie and was kind of, supporting him and doing whatever, me and Jackie started up a little Rock and Stone Twitter and was trying to get people there as well, kind of riding off the back of Andy's.
Love it.
I feel like we need to dig that Twitter out and have a look.
People love it, and I'm still in touch with like. There was I don't know if you ever watched Big Brother's bit on the side, but there was a woman on there called Barbara, and she's a staple in Big Brother's bit on the side. She was on every episode almost. Ryan did some skits with her, and I'm still friends with her. She still sends me like lovely messages and memories of like pictures of us that we've taken.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's really, really lovely, and the audience loved it. They all loved it. I remember.
Brilliant. Was this when it was Channel 4 or ITV?
It was Channel 4, I believe.
Yeah.
Tell me you came with an ITV top on and you had to turn it inside out and flash your teeth.
I didn't. I came up in a sparkly number. It was like a black top, gold sparkly dress, huge big blonde hair, which I just had delivered. I got it. I ordered it from a drag queen in Manchester to make this wig, and I wanted Gemma Collins. I wanted
the vibe of Gemma Collins,
blow dry blonde hair, and it just
Do you still have some of that stuff now?
Yeah, I still do have a bit down in my basement. Yeah. I've got my hip pads, a lot of kind of my drag shoes, and a couple of
R.I.P. Danny's couch.
And of course, I've got my breastplate as well down there.
Love it. Well, what advice would you give to aspiring performers who are looking to pursue a career in music theatre or drag, or any kind of performing?
Any kind of performing. I would just say, don't be afraid. Take risks. Be bold. Be brave. And just trust yourself as well. I think don't let things hold you back that you think may hold you back. For example, like money, because if you've got a talent, don't worry about the money. Like, you need to go and show your talent, and you'll have people that will help you along the way if they see your talent as well, and they're an advocate and they believe in you. Like, people will push you where you need to go, but you
I'm getting a bit emotional because I want to pursue a wee bit, and it's only taken me until I'm 30 to open up a new level of me. So yeah, that's nice to hear, Danny. Thank you.
And sometimes, maybe sometimes things aren't meant to happen straight away, but when they're meant to happen, like, it will happen. If you get the bug suddenly, or there's like something there, like a spark, and you think, I want to do this now. Don't hold back. Yeah. Do it. Try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does, look at what you've got to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Rachel was only talking about this last week, and 2 days later she got a mic. So don't be fooled. It's not for the podcast.
Listen, I've heard Rachel sing. She has a voice.
Yeah.
She should be performing.
Definitely.
Some mouth on
my
her.
mom keeps telling me, and I'm like, Mom, I know. And it's like, yeah, well, I will. But yeah, we need to.
I will, yeah.
Yes. People need to just let go, and I think I found my let go. So it's exciting. This is good.
Some good advice then. Obviously, all good life advice comes from challenges. So just want to sort of like go back a bit further. It seems that I'm sort of giving out the challenging questions. So apologies for that. So we're just just want to know, like, we're just going to go back to the time as being a young performer in London. So just what specific challenges that you had as that young performer on the London scene, and just obviously you touched briefly on life lessons and just how you navigated those challenges, and how you stayed motivated with that.
So I guess I'll look at it from the angle of like young performer in drag in London, right? So I think the first thing was obviously like finding myself, because I'd only just really, I'd had girlfriends before. I got with my first boyfriend, split up with my first boyfriend, moved in with Elliot, and then went out on the gay scene. So kind of finding out who I was and, this new scene, that was scary. I think also kind of then, I think at that time, like, I really kind of, because I was exploring who I was, I kind of went through, I guess, like a caterpillar to a butterfly. Like, I went through this journey, and I at a time I felt like I was really camp. I was wearing like crop tops, and I was, wearing lip gloss and stuff like that. I was going through a journey of like, I'm a gay man. I can do all these gay things, and and then it's only kind of through like living and getting older and experiences that you kind of then go, actually, this is who I don't need to wear lip gloss. I don't need to wear a crop top. I can be gay and not have to do all of those things.
Yeah.
I think living in a bit of a rough area of London. I was in Earlsfield at the time, and I lived on like on a council estate with my best friend. So, I mean, going, because we would go out in drag, we would go and get the train. We would walk down the high street and go and get the train. But, we had fireworks thrown at us. We had
wow,
like
Jesus.
rocks thrown at us. Like we got followed by a big group of kids once. It was scary. It was really scary. And I remember actually at one time when we were having fireworks thrown at us, I started running back after these boys with my heels in my hands, like running back towards them. And I was thinking, what am I doing? Like, I need to be right, run the other way.
And around what time was this? What years?
So I probably would have been about 21. So I don't know, like very early 2000s.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus. Even then.
That's shocking, that is. It's like,
yeah.
even though it was 2000s, it's quite recent history as well.
24 years ago, like,
yeah.
That's still.
And then I think just being on the scene, it was, very drug heavy, lots of drugs going around. I remember seeing people like being like carried over people's shoulders, being taken out of clubs, having a fit and all sorts. And I don't know, just, it was frightening. Frightening how much of that was going on, and still goes on, I guess. But it is, it's frightening. And then obviously just, I guess learning about kind of STDs and AIDS and all sorts like that, and just wanting to be careful, as a young man that's now starting to be sexually active with the same sex and stuff like that, because I didn't know anything about all of that. I didn't know, what it was, what it does.
So during like the early 2000s, would that have been during the London like AIDS epidemic, or was
that was like that was 80s.
Like 80s.
I'd heard of it.
New York was 80s.
You were just like, it was scary. It was, if I'd had a sexual experience where I hadn't used a condom, I was petrified. And the thought of going to get tested at a test center, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to find out if I've got this thing and I'm going to die. And, as a young 20-year-old kid, I was absolutely petrified. I didn't even want to do it. I was like, I won't go. And I just never know.
And how long do you have to wait for the results?
Well, back then, I think it wasn't instant or kind of almost immediate.
So you're stuck
I had to wait
for
a week
a
or
couple
something.
of days.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a long time.
That's gotta be tough.
So really, I guess those were kind of the main things. Just a bit of bullying. Yeah.
Would you say it's improved? I know you still have contacts within the scene still within London. Would you say that things have improved though from those challenges that you experienced in the early 2000s?
Well, I mean, I can't really say because I don't really do drag anymore. Or certainly haven't been out into London and did it. I would like to think that it has got better. I think drag kind of domination and things like RuPaul's Drag Race have helped kind of, I don't know, the acceptance of drag a little bit. But as with anywhere, any major city, you're still going to get the arseholes. You're still going to get the people that just you're different. I'm gonna take that and run with it, and
I love the entertainment aspect of it all. I think it's great.
You're very fond of a drag brunch.
I love a drag brunch. I do.
Every Sunday you're at one.
No, not every Sunday. I've been to quite a few, and I've been to the gay scene in Belfast, and the drag scene in Belfast. It's good. A good night out, bit of entertainment, bit of crack. No malice about it. No, none of that. So yeah, I am fond of a wee drag act.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned earlier, Danny, that you moved to Houston from London. How did you find the drag scene compared in Houston to London?
Very different. So I don't know, in London or in the United Kingdom, I guess it feels a little bit more kind of panto-ish, or a bit kind of like old traditional, kind of tongue-in-cheek. Doesn't matter if your makeup's a bit all over the place or whatever, glitzy, kind of over the top gowns and whatever. In America, it feels like these bitches are like beauty queens. They are like they leave people gagging.
They're not scrubbing any walls.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
They are pretty, they are glamorous, their makeup is on point. I don't know, it's just a different level of drag. I feel like American drag is more fierce.
Okay.
But I can feel that like coming across in the UK now. Like, you start to see the same level of drag now starting to appear here.
Do you feel like moving to Houston impacted your personal and artistic growth then?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's it's a very brave thing to do, just to up and leave your home country and go and live somewhere new anyway. But definitely, like, I've met some amazing people that have had a massive influence on my life. And yeah, I just got to experience a complete different way of life. So I've definitely grown as a person from having been there. And I'm happy that I've had the people there as influences on my experiences.
Yeah. You've also performed over there while you were in Houston. What type of productions were you doing there?
Musical. Yeah, musicals again. Yeah. That's all I really want to do, really, is anything where I can sing. So, I love plays and stuff like that, but I don't know. There's just something about musical theatre that just kind of covers everything,
Yeah. Was it the UT? Oh no, not UT Theatre. Was that the Art
the Art
Theatre
Factory? Was predominantly the company I worked with in Houston. Yeah, and it was it's set up and run by two very good friends of mine, Colton Berry and Luke Hamilton. Colton actually was on American Idol in the States.
Yeah.
And he, that boy can sing. Not only can he sing, he's a fantastic theatre maker as well. Like, he understands theatre in and out. And so I really, I wish them luck. I hope that the Art Factory, goes places. This is two young guys, younger than me, and I've completely respect, what they were able to give me. And then Youth Theatre was my company that I ran with two very good friends here in the UK. Predominantly a pantomime company. We would do a pantomime every year. And then we did kind of small black box musicals or plays. But unfortunately, we've just had to close that company down, with COVID and stuff. And that had a massive impact on everybody's theatre and times and businesses, and kind of ultimately ours as well.
Yeah, a lot of money goes into stuff like that, even the costumes alone.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I've got a whole load in my basement. If anybody's interested, they are.
Next time
Link in bio.
Next time we're around, we'll do our own little amateur dramatics.
I'll take the bins out for you, Danny. Don't worry.
Just quickly following on, like you said that you've done amateur dramatics in America and in the UK, and a bit similar to the drag question, really. Would you say that the standards are the same, or would you say that it reflects, like the drag scene reflects the amateur dramatic scene in America as it does the UK? Because I know with the drag scene, it's with Broadway and West End, a lot of Americans prefer to perform on the West End because of the standard. But in your time in amateur dramatics, does it sort of similarly reflect that in America?
So, I mean, amateur dramatics here in the UK, I used to have to pay to be in those shows. In the US, darling, I was paid to be in them. It's not quite amateur. I would say it's semi-professional. I don't know. I think doing a show in America and going through that whole kind of rehearsal experience and show experience, it felt like to me a little bit more serious. Like they were taking it more seriously. Okay. But in all other aspects of like building a family, a community, having a blast, all of that is the same as it is here in the UK. But I don't know, somehow I think in the US it was taken a little bit more seriously, and I loved it. I loved that it was. But also, like, I think also just as much money was spent on a production. I mean, the Art Factory that I was working with was a kind of small black box theatre. So, there wasn't room for a 20-piece orchestra, that we would have in a theatre that I was familiar with doing in the UK. So a lot of the tracks would be backing tracks. Sometimes we'd have piano accompaniment or drums and sax and guitar and so on for smaller shows. But I think the level, the output, just the same. I think the US probably attracts more people that are serious in performing arts as a career, or the shows that I were in. Whereas kind of here, Amdram, it's kind of, your dear old nan can be in the show in the background, as a cowgirl.
As a tree.
Yeah.
So yeah, Danny, are there any aspects of London life or culture that you miss or cherish the most now that you're living in Hastings?
Yeah, I miss not being able to kind of get around. I mean, like, in London, you can get wherever you need to easily. You've got the tube, you could walk, you've got the bus, you've got bikes. You can just get anywhere in an instant. And I do miss that. I do miss being able to be like, hey, yeah, I'll meet you in 10 minutes, for a drink. I now live nearly 2 hours away on train and a drive away. So I miss being able to just, hop on the tube and be with my mates in a pub within 10 minutes and then be able to get home in 10 minutes. I do miss the city. I love London. I love London to bits. But I'm not going to lie. The reason why I went to Houston was because I got bored. I got bored of London.
Yeah.
I got bored of seeing the same things for all those years. And I wanted change. I wanted something different. And I think now that I'm in my 40s and having come back from Houston and kind of having my eyes open that things aren't the same as when I left, as in like people have moved on, people have moved away, started families, had children.
So would it be fair to say that maybe you're missing the idea?
I miss the idea of London. Yeah, if I could move back to London, if I had like the money, I would. I'm now at the period of my life where I want to buy somewhere, but I can't afford to live in London.
Yeah,
I can't. I mean, it's absolutely crazy prices. Whereas here in Hastings, which is beautiful, by the way, by the sea, I can buy a 3-bed place and have like an amazing garden and have all this space.
And 2 hours outside of London
really
isn't that bad.
I go into the office one day a week. I sit on the train. I'm able to start work on the train because the train has Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Or I can catch up on my favorite podcast, Meet in the Middle.
The soundbite for that one.
It's really not that bad. And plus, if people come to visit, it's, you're down by the sea. You can't beat the coast. Can't beat the seaside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can't. Yeah. You can see, if you haven't heard already and throughout the podcast, I hear the seagull or two. It just makes me feel like I'm at the sea. Yeah, I've been hearing the seagulls. It was nice though. It was therapeutic. I thought I had some relaxing music on in the background.
No, it just came past right at the right time.
with a flake and 99 in his mill.
Or an old lady's pair of knickers, I think.
Yeah, Angie Flange, Angie Rock.
So yeah, Johnny, just to finish up, thanks for all your questions, or all your answers and all your experiences through your life. So just one more last question for you. Looking back on your journey from London to where you are now, what lessons or insights have you gained that you'd like to share with others pursuing their passions in the arts?
Ask me that question again. Sorry, once more.
So just as an overall, looking back on your journey from London to where you are now, what lessons or insights have you gained that you'd like to share with us? You know, like overall, where are you now? What do you want to pursue? And what would you let others know that, you know, in the arts?
So lessons learned would be, I think, like as I've previously mentioned before, like don't give up. Surround yourself with people that love you, people that will lift you up. People that will also kind of tell you as well, like, you know, a few home truths, like when you need to as well, like when you're going too far or you think you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself as well.
Yeah.
You know, people that can kind of bring you back down to earth as well.
Yeah.
They're kind of.
And where are you now? Like where are you at with all your performance stuff now? What do you want to do? What's your next step?
So in regards to kind of next steps is at the moment, I still feel like I'm in a place of limbo. I've been back nearly 2 years now, but I'm still not kind of settled. So I still don't know where I want to be, what I want to be doing, where I want to go. I'm happy in my career, love my job, absolutely love my job. But, you know, now I'm a divorced man. I have 2 baby Chi-Chis.
2 baby Mexicans.
But, you know, I'm absolutely bursting to get on stage again. So
good.
Yeah.
I'm looking here in Hastings to join a theatre company down here, or to at least kind of try and audition and see what's around. And then who knows, really. I'm also, as you can see, my mic, I want to get back into.
Oh.
Whoa.
You pop that shield.
I want to get back into recording music. So, you know, not necessarily for other people, but for me, just like.
Yeah, a little hobby, a little.
I just want to sing.
Something you can work
lay
on.
some stuff down.
And if you can't get back on stage, would you love to help people in a production company, or would you like to, you know, say maybe the auditions don't go, or, you know, those doors kind of close, maybe you don't know, like, would you like to help other people or work in a theatre, or like
definitely
do it as a wee
100%.
extra hobby? Or
Absolutely, yeah. I love helping people. I especially love working with younger people as well. I used to be a youth arts worker a long time ago as well. So, you know, I'd love to like help people do that, you know, or even just to inspire people, you know, give advice or, you know, I would absolutely love to do that.
Brilliant.
Do you know what I'm sensing? I'm sensing 2 singers that are looking to get back at it, and I'm sensing a duet.
Let's do it. We've both got mics. Let's lay down some tracks, put them on Spotify. 5 minutes.
This is out in the public arena now. That's the signed contract, I'm thinking.
I'm handing my notice in, guys, for the podcast later.
Me and James are witness now. That's it.
Yeah. P45 in the post.
Well, I do have one final question before we do round off the interview.
So who put 50p in the dickhead?
get everything off your chest. So as you know, this is the season finale, and we want to go out with a bang. So we've invited you along to be our first guest as well.
Be our guest. Be our guest.
And I just want to sort of ask, and you said that you've been an avid listener of the podcast. If you could give us one highlight of the podcast this season, what would it be?
Oh, God, you really put me on the spot here.
You've never listened to an episode.
We can give you some examples of what we've given out. So obviously we did our skit of the hospital radio.
No, let me think. There's got to be something. I mean, every time I listen, when Rachel gets her belly laughs, I am literally laugh out loud. I mean, there's always a highlight of something on everyone. You know, bloody Bradley getting his 2 pence worth in, or beg
your pardon?
But I love the confessionals, and hearing some of those delightful stories that you've read out. The one from Joey, your listener, Joey.
Oh,
yeah.
With the what was it? He was mowing the lawn or something, and
yeah, that was my highlight.
Shit hit the fan.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. And he was like, "I can only be described as a burger of shit."
It's funny you should say that. That has come up earlier.
Also, I've loved the like the lingo where you're trying to work out like what the words mean. So
border control.
Border control. Love all of that.
Well, we haven't actually done confessionals yet. So if you are up for it, we'd love to have you on for them. Okay, let's get into it. Right. So this being the season finale of Meet in the Middle season 1, I thought I'd surprise us with a confession or two. We'll start off with this one I have, because the other confessional is still not 100% there, but it is. I have a little surprise for us, so hopefully it'll work out. Okay, first confession we have is when I was in 6th grade, after everyone went home from school, I sniffed my crush's chair and took her notebook. Then after I got home, I jerked off to it and came so much. I just imagined that her face was the notebook, and I also peed on it.
Oh my God.
Oh.
I also have another crush in the 6th grade, and when she wasn't looking, I took her towel and jerked off into it at home. Before I jerked off into it, I sniffed it and it smelled like fish. Now, I thought it was her pussy, so I licked the towel and jerked off into it. What the fuck?
I'm sorry, Danny. We can only apologise.
Oh my goodness. I mean, is this person a male? Or I'm guessing it is, yeah.
Yeah, this is a male. Yeah, a male jerking off into a female.
I mean, down on his knees, sniffing this chair. And I'm like, oh, I know, I'll take this notebook. And then piss on it.
We have some interesting submissions, don't we? Jesus.
I mean, what do you do with the book? What's he going to do? Return it?
Sticky pages.
It's good if it wasn't his library book. I'd rather pay the late fine.
Okay, I've got somebody on the phone that would like to talk to us.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
It's Joey from episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Hey.
I'm having a technical malfunction, Joey. You can't hear them.
Sorry.
Okay.
But Joey has come along for this episode of the podcast to give us another confession. They can hear you, Joey, but you can't hear them, unfortunately.
Oh, for God's sake.
They can see your face, though. You can see them, I think. There you go.
Hello.
So, Joey, you have one more confession for us.
Yeah, I've got a few. They're all self-inflicted wounds.
Nice.
Wounds?
I don't know what you want. At the time I blew myself up.
Oh.
It's quite a good one.
Yeah, let's go for that one then.
So this one. I blew myself up. And it was when I was working as a tree surgeon kind of thing again. So you cut a tree down. Once you cut it down, you cut all the branches and things off. It's got very leafy greens on it, and they're very hard to get rid of. So what you've got to do is you've got to mix oil and petrol together to make a very combustible concoction. Flick it onto a massive pile of leaves, and then set it on fire, and away you go, and it's fantastic. But what I did, instead of like lighting a rag and throwing it, I thought, oh, I'll just lean in with a lighter and blow my face off. So I've leant in with my right arm, and like that, set it on fire, and it just engulfed me in a big flame of, like a big ball of flame.
Oh.
That was quite bad, but it's because of the oil like makes things stick to you. So it stuck to my arm, and it fused my eyelids together as well. So I couldn't see that I was on fire. I just knew that I was really hot. So I fell down with bang, boom, exploded. I've done a backwards roly-poly flip in the air onto the floor. And so I'm like, shit, I'm on fire. I'm trying to slap myself to put myself out. But I don't know if I'm on fire. I'm just really hot. My friend's had the chainsaw going and the ear defenders, and he's heard the boom. He's stopped, and he's just looked over at me. And there's a big fire, and then me 3 meters away, rolling around on the floor, not on fire, but like, what the fuck is this kid doing? He's an idiot. Then I've stood up and I've just went, Adrian, I can't see what's going on. I can't hear anything either. So the fire had melted my eyelashes together. So that's why I couldn't see.
Wow. Shit.
And my right arm just smelled like bacon. And still to this day, if I get like a suntan, my right arm goes a lot darker than my left one. Because all the skin started to come off like a few days afterwards.
Oh, shit.
I went a bit crispy.
Don't play with lighters, folks.
That was a little mini one.
Lighters.
I'm raging I can't get you to hear them, Joey, because we tried to get Joey to send him the link, but you need the desktop app to get it. So it didn't work. But yeah, he's there. You can wave at him.
Woo!
Thank you, Joey.
Thanks, Joey.
They're all saying thanks, Joey. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you back for season 2.
Yes.
Yes. Cheers, Joey.
Season 2.
Bye. I thought that'd be a nice way to round it up.
Yeah.
Finish as we started. Yeah, I'd say it'll just all be confessionals the whole way through. I did try and send him the link to get on, but he was on a mobile device, so you need a desktop to get onto this, so it wasn't really working out for us. But look, we learn. Season 2 will be a bit more technically advanced, hopefully.
Yes. Now Rachel's got a microphone.
Yeah, and she's quitting to pursue her performing arts career.
Goodbye.
It's all right. You've got no risk of that happening to me.
You don't have the range.
Singing.
I love you, darling. I've always loved you, but you don't have the range.
Go on, Shirley.
And you don't have the range either.
You don't have the range. Goodbye.
You are the weak. Goodbye.
Right. Well, you are the Riesling. Fuck off. That's my 2 confessions for this week.
Very good.
Sorry I couldn't get Joey in digital format, but yeah. We tried
wanking into other people's belongings and blowing yourself up.
Yeah.
Noise.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really bad weekend.
I thought he'd originally said blowing himself off, and I was like, oh, I've always wondered if people can do that.
That might be in the confession locker.
Oh.
Right, well, I think that brings us to an end on season
Wow,
1.
guys, congrats. Season
you.
1, 20 episodes.
Season
I'm
1,
proud. It's a
20
brilliant
episodes,
podcast.
yeah. Hard to believe. It's still hard to believe when you scroll through on Spotify and you see all these episodes. You're like, that's us talking shite.
Yeah.
That's us now.
That's 20 hours. That's nearly a day's worth of us talking shite. Talking shite.
Yeah, I'd say if you add it all up, probably, especially with this one. This is a long episode.
Yeah.
This is our longest episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely, I'd say 24 hours.
Yeah. So if you if you want to kill time, you've got 24 hours. If you're traveling to Australia, just listen to season 1.
We've got a 2-hour train journey there and back. You know, that's what 4 episodes there.
Yeah.
Unless you get stuck in a train strike, then that's a whole season.
Well, I've just.
But yeah, I'd just like to. Go on with your new mic.
No,
I think
you
we
go
can
ahead
have the
then.
last word.
I was just going to say, I want to thank all the listeners that have listened through and for all the support and the messages, the confessions, the polls that people have answered. It wouldn't be the show we've tried to build it to be without you. And a big, massive special thank you to Danny for coming on to be our first guest.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Danny. And thank you to all our lovely listeners.
Yeah, so we're going to take a short break. Well, we haven't decided how long, but it won't be long. Don't worry, we'll be back before you know it. So, for the last time on season 1, I'm out.
Good night.
And I'm out too. Bye.
I've always been out.